here on Global Television, and we are going into the first discussion immediately, where we'll be taking you straight up to Benue State to see what is happening from there. Benue State, Otukpo especially, has been on fire for the past few days, and a lot of developing stories from there. What have actually led to this situation that the youths couldn't hold their peace anymore, that they had to hit the street? We have a human rights activist joining us on the program today. We will be looking at the insecurity situation in Otukpo. Joining us from Benue State this morning is Medi Olotu Emmanuel, a human rights activist, like I said, and he will be bringing us some situation report from Otukpo in Benue State this morning. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning, Medi.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, let's go straight to what is happening in Otukpo. What really is the problem in Otukpo that has resulted to the protests?
Okay, it's actually the constant and everyday killing of our people. Because today you don't even know who is next anymore in Otukpo. Now, the people that are doing these things, we don't know. We can't point pin on somebody now that, okay, it's the elders, it's unknown gunmen, but they are unknown. Right now, they are still unknown to us. They are unknown, and we got tired. As the youth, we got tired, and we came out, went on the streets, and we started protesting so that government could hear us, and our cries could be heard. Because right now we are just left alone. Because imagine the area commander saying then that there is no insecurity issue in Otukpo. That means there is no problem. Otukpo is safe. Otukpo is all right. But there is problem. Everybody keeps sleeping with one eye closed every day by day. It's so unfair. It's so unfair on my people, and we felt it's enough is enough, and we came out to protest. Because up until this very moment, since when all these things started, killing every day, day by day, day by day, the governor has never come to Zone C and said, guys, I am with you guys on this, and whatever you guys are going through, I'm feeling the pain with you guys. Nothing of such. They have just left us alone. And when 2027 comes, if another election season comes, you see all these people around campaigning and wanting us to vote for them.
We heard of the issue of kidnapping in the Zone C area of Benue State, Otukpo, which is more like the capital city in the Zone C. We've heard of kidnapping. Now you're saying the people who are responsible for this incident on Dastardly Art are not known. These Dastardly Art are, but as it is right now, let's just go straight to the issue. What is actually making brand from Agatu to Okboga and all other axes in that area? We heard that it's headsmen. It's always been headsmen. But right now, that you don't really know who is responsible. Where do the security operatives even start from?
No, right now, like the ones from Agatu, Adoka, and all these parts, it's headsmen. It's headsmen. They can be identified as headsmen. Now, the one happening in Otukpo, like there was one case that happened around the streets they called Perfect Avenue. The guy identified the people that came as headsmen. Now, my major concern is this kidnapping, asking for ransom, and asking for ransom, and going to people's houses, not houses that are close to the bush parts, but houses that are in town and kidnapping people. So that's why it's still unknown personally, and that's why the security agencies are so confused of the situation happening in Otukpo. And that's why they can't point and said, okay, this is herdsmen. and that's why it's sounding too unknown to them. Like the woman they killed 4 days ago, they were breaking into our shop. They were breaking into our shop, and when she came out and she was screaming, and that was when they shot her. So you see, in a case like that, they were breaking into our shop. So that kind of situation, you can brand them as, okay, they were doing these guys are like robbers. You know, they were trying to rob this woman, not that they came to kidnap this woman, because her child was outside at that time. So they would have kidnapped the child and they would have gone with the child. No, 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 that was not the case there. So I think that's why this whole thing is becoming too confusing, because we can't point out like, okay, these are herdsmen, because in other parts you would just you'll be able to know that, okay, these are herdsmen operating, because when they come, they spray everywhere, and they kill more than so many people, and they kill more than one persons, you know. But these ones, when they come, they want to kidnap and they want to ask for ransom at the end of the day. So it's so confusing right now what's happening in Otukpo. But the security agencies, like when we came out the other day and were protesting, they were assuring us that they are doing everything possible within their power to fish out these people and make sure at the end of the day Otukpo becomes peaceful as it has always been.
Let's call spade a spade right now. What has been the efforts of the youths? Because apart from protesting, this is Nigeria we're talking about here, and as a matter of fact, this security situation, it's everywhere in the country, not just Otukpo alone. What has been the effort of the youth on their own part? In some parts, they form vigilantes, all right? And
Yes.
some parts, they use intelligent informations. What so far has been the efforts of the youths in your location as far as this situation is concerned?
So right now, concerning the vigilante issue, we are gradually heading towards that, because at some point, at one time in Otukpo, there was a local vigilante. We had this local vigilante that in all our areas, like in all our streets, and you know, every session, we have these local vigilantes around each areas. It was so active. Like the community will come together, raise funds, and at the end of the month they'll be able to settle these guys, you know, to encourage them, to keep them going. But when the government of Otom came, then the Otom disbanded these guys and brought his own vigilante from the government. Yeah, and the one they brought, they can't really know these guys. They can't really know what's happening in this community. Otom came with that one. Then these active vigilantes that were there before, these local vigilantes that were there in the community before, everybody got disbanded. They were no longer functioning. After Otom, then the new government now of Reverend Father I Alia came with his own vigilante, and since then our own local vigilantes have not been functioning, because if they are functioning, they will tell them they are not registered. So right now we are gearing and we are working towards that, of registering our own local vigilantes, so that we can have our own. Because when we have our own, these guys, they will know who are involved in these things. Imagine our own local vigilantes, street by street, they will have their own, so that they will be protecting themselves. Because imagine what the DSS boss said the other day: we need all this manpower, we need all these people around us, and that's what we are working towards right now. We are working towards it as we can right now. We are working towards it, because the other day I spoke with the commissioner of police, Benue State. I spoke with the PPRO, Benue State Police Command, and I spoke with the assistant commissioner of police, and they also said the same thing. We need our own local vigilantes, so that the police, when we are able to do some other things and it's not working for us, we can involve the police then, if it becomes too difficult for us as a local people on our own. So that's what we are working towards right now as youth of Otukpo.
The situation here now, as it is getting more complicated, because you know, we have, as it is right now, we have some vigilantes that were disbanded, all right, by the governor, and they will not be happy that they were disbanded. And now there
Yes.
is a security situation, robbery, killing, and kidnapping, because you just mentioned that of robbery. Now, the last woman that they took her life, where they were actually breaking into her shop and all of that. And that, I think, is one amongst many. Now, the disgruntled vigilantes, the people who are not happy that they were stopped from doing these things, don't you think there is need to really do a scrutiny? Because some of these people already, they have arms, all right, and these arms, they are not using it right now because they are not registered, as the case may be. Don't you think there is need to check inwards, all right? Because sometimes these things might not really be outsiders. It might just be people within the community or within the local government that are doing this thing. As you say, they are unknown, nobody know, but at least security and intelligence comes to play. Don't you think there is need to still engage, maybe unofficially, some of these vigilantes that were actually disbanded, so that at least, even if it is the communities that will be paying them, all right, they can actually mount the streets, because they know who is who in the community, and they can protect the borders of the community than the outsiders. Or maybe we have a mix of them. And what is exactly stopping them from being registered? Is it the money or what? So that they can actually be functional, because they know the community more than the outsiders, as the case may be.
It's not actually money that was stopping them for being registered. It was party being in play at that time. Because that time it was Otom coming in as I think it was coming in under APC. And then these guys, they were getting support then. In fact, the major people that were the tough vigilantes in town then, they were getting support from the PDP government. Not that the PDP government were using them for another purpose, no, but the PDP government then were supporting them, were funding them, gave them vehicles, were giving them allowances. And then Otukpo, people will tell you that instead of these vigilante guys instead of them to get hold of you, it's better they go to police station or let army arrest them instead of these vigilante guys. Because when they get hold of you, you will repent. You will definitely repent. If you're a bad person, you will repent and you will not go back to that thing again. Because these guys, they know who and who. Imagine there was a time at that time, then kidnapping was not rampant. At that time, they kidnapped a woman and they were taking her as far as Ogbadigbo local government. There's a place called Otukpo. They were taking her as far as that place. These vigilante guys followed them all the way from Otukpo, traced them to Otukpo, freed the woman, got the woman released from their hands, caught those guys, and they brought the woman back to Otukpo. That you can see how far these guys can walk. You can see how far these guys were determined. In fact, if these guys were passing on the road, then if you're a bad person, you will stand still. In fact, you will start shaking, because of how active these guys was. They were two brothers and they were so active, and they got other groups involved, and they showed the other ones that in street by street that I'm with you guys. Do you know if something is overpowering the ones that are covering those streets, they will call the head, those guys in Elos and everything, they will call them, okay, you guys should come. In fact, those guys are there immediately. Those guys were doing well. I won't lie to you. They were doing well in Otukpo. In fact, when those guys came, all the guys that were involved in court activities then, they repented immediately. They denounced it, that they will never be part of any court thing, any court related issue anymore in Otukpo, that they unsolved, that normal and now they will not involve themselves again, they will be good people. And then all these things were done. But when they were disbanded and they are now bringing people that could not match up this thing again, now issues started coming. people started coming back. Those bad habits now started coming back to town. And this is where we have found ourselves now with problem. But we are working towards it, like I said. We are trying to talk to our government back. Let's go. We need our local vigilantes back. We need our local vigilantes. That's when peace, total peace, can be restored in Otukpo, and total peace can be restored in Idomaland. Then we can sleep with our two eyes. But as for now, we are sleeping with one eye closed. I won't lie to you.
The next question I want to ask is this. The major problem now is the funding and the change in party, because politics is trying to play a role right now. That will take me to the governor, the role of the governor so far. Now you say the governor have his own vigilante, meaning the vigilantes that were there during the former governor's time, that is Governor Samuel Otom, are different from the ones that are there now, which are brought by the now governor Hyacinth Alia, if I heard you well. Then we also have the local vigilante that were there before Otom even brought his own people. But the issue now with the local vigilantes that knows the nooks and cranny of the local government and the community is that they don't have funding anymore from this other party and these other people in governance. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. They don't. So what we'll do, if we are setting up our local vigilantes, we the Idoma people, we will be funding them. We will crowdfund them. We will not wait for politicians. But all we'll do with them is just to register them. And we know the process on how to register them. That process already, I've gone far to inquire already. I've gone far to do my research. I've gone far to talk to people that can register these people. The moment they are registered, we'll start up from there. The Idomas will fund them. The Idomas around the world will do crowdfunding. We'll be funding them. There will be a special account for that purpose, and we'll be funding these people. Because we will not wait for the government. We will not wait for the government. Because the government are acting like there is no problem. The government are pretending like there is no problem. So we will not wait for the government. We by ourselves will be crowdfunding these people. Even if it's 5 naira, 10 naira, 100 naira, people will keep donating. People will keep donating, and we'll crowdfund these people. In our own capacity, we'll be able to be paying them something to encourage them and to keep standing strong, because that is what we can do for ourselves. That is really what we can do for ourselves, because we can't wait. We can't really wait. A lot is going bad. A lot is happening. You know, right now you are moving with fear. You are looking at your side mirror. You are looking if anyone is following you. You are sleeping. You are just scared not to hear quack, 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 not to hear sounds and all of that. Because what they're doing now is that they don't even wait till midnight again. They come to people around 7 p.m., around 6:30. You know, before you know, they are doing all these things now. So right now, everybody is scared. I won't lie to you. Everybody is scared. So any which way we can help ourselves, we need to do it. And as I speak right now, we are trying to talk with your Chidoma. Is the father of the whole Idoma nation, so that he can do something also about this. If he takes this up with the with what I'm saying now about the local vigilantes, it will be faster. It will be faster. But all these people are still depending on government.
Mehdi, that's the next question I wanted to ask, because I know very well that number one, each of the communities in every state of Nigeria have local chiefs, like the Otukpo. Then we also have Ochidoma, who is recognized by the federal government. I actually wanted to ask, because they are the closest to the community, and there won't be people for you to lead. All right, you can't be a leader where there are no people for you to lead. If this keeps happening and there is trouble in the land, for instance, God forbid, there is war in that community or in the local government, there won't be anyone to lead. So I wanted to ask, what has been the role of community leaders, the local, the clan heads, the Otukpo, the Ochidoma, and of course, every other persons, the councillor representing the place, the local government chairman? What has been their role? Because this has so much escalated and lives are being lost on a daily. What has been their role so far?
For now, the Ochidoma is not even speaking to us. That's the problem. When we had the protests, the deputy governor came to Otukpo, went back, he followed another road to the Ochidoma palace. They had a meeting, and from that meeting, we don't know what they discussed. So from now, the Ochidoma is not even speaking to us, and it's another issue for all of us, because we don't know the measures, we don't know what's happening, we don't know we don't know if there is any, we don't know if there's anything, you don't know if there's anything they are doing about this whole issue. Because definitely, if they want to tell us anything now, they'll say the police said they are working on it, the soldiers said they are working on it. So we don't know what they are really doing about this situation. I won't lie to you, because they are not speaking to us, they are not telling us anything, you know. But the reason why the deputy governor came the other day was because of the man that was killed. And I think he knows the man on a personal ground. So he came to condole with the family and also met with the Ochidoma. But whatsoever that was discussed, we don't know. The Ochidoma has not been speaking to us on this matter, on this insecurity issue. He has not been talking. So I don't know. Maybe that's what King does. Maybe they don't speak. Or maybe they might just be acting behind, but they don't talk to people. I don't know. So, but for now, he has not been speaking to us. So we don't even know what's in his mind. And that's why I keep telling you of our own solution, of what we are thinking about, of what we keep, what as a youth, what we are gingering ourselves to do is to start up a local vigilantes. Because right now they are not talking to us. We don't know what's in their mind. We don't know what they are working towards. All they just do is to keep us silent, and we don't know. We can't sit like that and wait for government solution. And that's why I'm telling you about our own local vigilantes. This is just our personal thing as youth that we want to set up, want to bring back. So that's just it, my brother.
Now, if they are not speaking and they are working on anything, I think it's better to speak out. That's what I feel. But if they are not speaking, I don't think that will be to the overall interest of the people, because they need to know, all right, that the people also need to hear from them. The chiefs, the heads, they are fathers in the land, except if what is happening, what we are hearing and seeing on social media is not true. But now, have you been able to reach Honorable Blessing Onu, the House of Rep member, and Senator Abba Moro, who is the senator representing the people? Have you been able to reach them, or have they taken any action if the local chiefs are not doing anything?
Yes, I've tried to reach Honorable Blessing Onu a few times, but she was actually out of the country when she went to. One of her brother was getting married. She was so she was there. She just got back, and if you read in the news, she was in the house. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday, when she was talking to the Speaker of the House of Representatives on the issues happening in Idoma land, on the issues happening in Otukpo. She was really pouring out her mind. Even Honorable Philip Agbese too was talking. You know, they were speaking to the Speaker to help their people, because them in that green chamber, they need to talk to the Speaker and see what the Speaker can do for them. If it's to deploy people, if it's to talk to the police, talk to the soldiers, and see what they can do and go to these places more. Enough manpower can be deployed to this to their place, that's Otukpo and other parts of Idoma land that is facing this crisis. So She has been speaking. Actually, she has been speaking in the House. Then Honorable Senator Abamoru too has been speaking. I saw a post where he was talking, where he was when he was where he was addressing, and they said, according, I've not heard from him one on one, but according to his media aide, he has been talking with the soldiers, police, on how they can increase the manpower and safeguard Otukpo. But for now, I've not spoken to him one on one to hear from him. I've not. But hopefully, in few days, we'll be able to talk, and I'll brief the general public on whatever he's saying about the insecurity challenges in Idoma land generally.
Is some form of collaboration within the Doma people of Benue State, especially when it has to do with insecurity. Now we're talking about Otukpo. Is it only Otukpo that is facing this insecurity? And what is the collaboration like between the chairman, Algon, of course, the state Algon, and of course the various heads in the various local governments in Zone C? Is there some form of collaboration? Is there unity? Because sometimes these people, if they unleash, if they lynch their mayhem in Otukpo, they may want to run towards Adoka or Agatu or Badibo or Oju in any of those axes. Is there any form of collaboration to say, all right, these people just did this, now you put a call across to maybe some security operatives in these other local governments to mount roadblocks or something? Is there anything like that? What's the collaboration like within the people in the various local governments in Zone C where this issue is happening? But we know that this security situation, the insecurity situation in Benue State at large, is not just in Zone C. We also have it in Zone A, we have it in Zone B too. So generally, insecurity situation in Benue State, and the first question that I ask, what would you have to say about it before we bring the program to a close and move for the next discussion?
The insecurity issue in Benue State at large, it's worrisome. But the most strange thing about this whole thing is that if you heard from the Senate President the other day, the Senate President said the governor has not told them anything. The governor is not speaking out. And that's like the chief security officer of the state, if I'm not mistaken, is the governor. And the governor is not speaking out. So that's a concern. Now, moving to Zone C. Zone C, from the deputy Argon, the vice Argon chairman is the chairman of Agatu. I asked him, are you guys together? And he said yes, that they are all together. So whatever is wrong with Oyimini will put call across to Agatu. So whatever is wrong with Agatu will put call across to Oyimini. So they have been working hand in hand. There were these places around these various checkpoints. If you're going towards Abuja, places like Egwanoku, places like Fukojinebe, places like Adoka to Ogobia, Ogobia to Adoka, those places becomes very dangerous. So right now, what they have done is to place soldiers in some of these checkpoints. I was there when the soldiers were asking for the names of these places so that they can deploy their people there, so that soldiers can be in this checkpoint. Soldiers were not there before. It was just police. And police will stay there from morning till afternoon. When they are done collecting their egunje, they will leave, according to Yoruba people. They will leave when they are done at that hour. So that's so worrisome, because from that evening time, these guys are already there. They know when the police are leaving. When the police have left, then they will just be by the bush side or mountain roadblock there, so that when people come, they kidnap them. But for a few weeks now, these chairmen have been working together, and that's why you can see that. And that checkpoints there, you will see soldiers there now. They have been talking to themselves. They have been having several meetings. But sometimes the chairman of Otukpo is not always around, and I don't know why. So sometimes it's not available for us to talk to. And maybe you can just put a call through. But a lot of persons have been complaining that it's not available, it's not around. And I hope to see him soon. so we can talk on some issues, and I can tell him what the people are actually going through and what the people are saying concerning him, and if he can improve and do better. But for now, I think the all the chairmen in Zone C are actually working hand in hand to see how there will be lasting peace in Zone C, because that's the first thing. But every day, there will be rising issues, sometimes based on communities that are very different. Some communities, there was an issue someone was trying to talk to me about yesterday. There was a clash in Ankpechi, a village called Ankpechi. There was a clash there, and some lives were unalive, some lives were lost. But at the end of the day, those people ran out of the houses because police came, and it was becoming an intense issue. But those crises now were not coming out. People, sometimes a lot of things are happening in some of these places. And I told myself that this morning I'm going to speak to the local government chairman of Oimini concerning what anything that's happening there, so we can get full details. But so far, I think the chairmen are trying to, I think they are working together to see how there will be lasting solution concerning this insecurity issue in Zone C. But for now, the governor is not speaking out. That's what I can tell you guys.
Not speaking out, I don't know. That sends a lot of message. Meaning, as the number one chief security of the state, if you're not speaking out, it means he's not worried about the security situation. But then maybe he might be doing some things on the ground, like you said, that we don't know, because I don't think the governor will be able to sleep with his two eyes closed if his own state is on fire. Well, we heard that a couple was actually kidnapped on Sunday. We don't know if they've been released, but then have they been released, or is it not through?
No, they have not been released. They were kidnapped along Bong Bricks. I don't know. It's like they were coming from Makodi to Otukpo. So they were kidnapped along Bong Bricks. They got married on the one of these dates in December. They got married in December, just 2024, last year. So they were coming into Otukpo town, and they were kidnapped. And since that date till this very moment, they have not been released. You know, and he's a librarian at the Federal University of Health Science, Otukpo. So I don't know what they're actually looking for from a librarian. What's the salary? And I think these people, they don't check all of those things anymore. What they check is maybe you have families that can run around and raise funds for you. But for now, they are demanding for ransom. I don't know the figures yet, but they are demanding for ransom. So, and I think the families are working towards it, because right now what happens is that the moment they kidnap and they demand for ransom, the families work towards it, pay the ransom, and they release the person. So that's just it. It's not like police will tell you, no, don't pay. We are going and we are getting to the root of this. We'll catch them. We'll do this. And nothing is happening like that anymore. But I feel we are just the poor masses that are suffering this thing. See, the poor masses are the ones suffering this whole thing. Remember the other day that these medical students were kidnapped? If you remember, when they were kidnapped, if you see the soldiers that came to Otukpo, the soldiers that were deployed, the drone that were flying, no dime was paid. They caught everyone that was involved, and those people were released on hot. No dime was paid. The soldiers that were deployed, both with the ones that came with vehicles, both with the ones that came with motorcycle, both, they were just, helicopter was flying in Otukpo up and down till those guys were released. So you see, we the poor masses are suffering these things. We don't have a voice. That's why everybody are striving. Everybody are craving to become rich, so that they can have security for themselves. That's what is happening, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mehdi. It's actually a pathetic situation right now, because you need to protect yourself. If the people who are supposed to protect you are not there, and some persons are well taken care of when it comes to kidnap and they are being released, but for others who don't have the wherewithal to do that, have nothing to do. But it is so good that the community and the youth are coming together to get these vigilantes working. Do everything possible. Reach out to the senator representing your zone, and of course the House of Rep member, like they are already speaking, so that the needful can be done. Many thanks for joining us this morning on the conversation, all the way from Benue State, Medi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, this is going to be the size of the conversation, all the way from Otukpo in Benue State, where there have been a lot of unrest. And of course, the kidnapping situation, the killing and the robbery, which has become over. In fact, it's an alarming situation. It has gone overboard. And that's the reason the youth took to the streets. But then, who needs to do what, and what needs to be done before peace can return to the state, and not just the state, the local governments? What about the heads of the communities? What about the chiefs, the district heads, everyone? The issue of security is everyone's business. It's not left to the security operatives alone, because we need intelligent situations. We need intelligent informations. We need intelligent people. We need people who are ready to speak out. We need people who are ready to say no. If it is your brother, if it is your uncle, if it is someone related, associated, or connected to you that is involved in this dastardly act, you need to voice out to the security operatives. Let them be apprehended and meant to face the law, because one day you might fall victim. Have you ever heard of a situation? I heard of a situation sometimes back where there was a robbery. And what happened is that these people stand on the highway to rob, and the vehicles they are robbing, they don't know whether their relatives are in the vehicle or not. And by the time they get robbing and you identify them and they see you in that car and you are related to them, no matter who you are, what they do is they take such lives. All right, because they know if these people are released, if they don't take these lives, since they've known them, they've been identified, they will take their life off so that they can continue with this, their businesses, their deal, their dirty deal. So what you need to do is, if you know anyone who is a security threat in your environment, in your locality, speak out to the security operatives. They won't disclose to the people that you are the one who gave this intelligent information, because we need to sanitize the society. We need to sanitize the community. So many lives have been lost. Back in the days, if just one life is lost, it becomes a problem to the community. The people are worried. But now there is this worrisome situation that lives doesn't matter anymore. You see people losing their lives on a daily basis. You see people being kidnapped. People can't travel on our roads anymore. It doesn't matter whether the road is smooth or the road is bad. The situation now is becoming just too much. Who are these people? We're being made to understand sometimes back that some of the sponsors of this very terror, these terrorists have sponsors. These kidnappers have sponsors. They have people who they are answerable to. There are people who collect this money. If these people are known and being arrested, peace will return to the society. And this is what we are fighting for. It is not all the time we allow the government to do everything. We also have roles to play, not just a role, where we have roles to play as citizens, as patriotic Nigerians, because this is our nation, this is our country. If Nigeria is not at peace, you can't be here. And let me tell you the truth, it is becoming hot for people who are even jackpying out of the country. It's not as juicy as it used to be. You hear what is happening. The immigration policy in the United States. A lot of people are running helter-skelter looking for where to go hide their heads right now, because the nations of the world will not even want to take you into their own country, because you are going to be a liability. And that's the reason we need to do everything possible to make our own country habitable. We need to make our country safe of terrorism, of kidnapping. Whether they are coming into the country from other countries, we don't know. And that's the reason they call them unknown gunmen. The security chiefs, our security operatives, are doing their best. Go to the north. Soldiers, the joint task force are losing their lives. Some of them are losing their lives on a daily basis. It's not everything you hear in the news. Nigeria needs to be a peaceful country for people to invest. And we need investors to boost the economy of the nation. For us to live in peace. It is our collective responsibility as a people. All right, we'll go on a quick break. Thank you very much for staying with us. We were able to establish some facts from Benue State. You know, it has been on the social media. Some persons are not even sure if it is true, because if you watch videos, we deliberately refuse to show you videos, okay, of what is on the social media, because some are not good to behold. That's why we just had to talk without making you see some things. This is just one part of the country. What about people in the south? What about people in the northeast? What about people in some parts of the north central? What is happening? We need to do everything possible to have a peaceful country. This is our own country. We need to be proud of this country. Therefore, all of us have roles to play, not just a role. I'll keep saying it. We have roles to play to sanitize this nation. If the people are not there, you will not have anyone to lead. If you are a leader today, if you are in government today and you feel you have all the immunity, you have all the securities around you, and you don't care about what happens to the average Nigerian, I am assuring you that one day you will be stripped of those security. They may not be with you forever. But then, if you are not lucky, and if God is not on your side, the security operatives may have little or nothing to do when there is a manhunt on you. All right? So that's what it is. It doesn't matter whether someone is a high-profile individual in the society. Everyone have blood, okay, flowing in them. So the same air we are breathing today. So everyone should be looked at as human enough. Everyone should be looked at as people that have rights. All right? Everyone should be looked at as people that are being governed with constitutions. Everyone should be looked at as people that deserve and have the right to live in a peaceful environment. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return for the second conversation, where we'll be taking you to other parts of Nigeria and other things happening in the polity. Well, celebration is intensive in Edo State for some faction of people who are supporting the now governor who won his case yesterday from the tribunal. But then it's as if Igadolo is heading to the appeal court. What's going to come out of the appeal court? How many confidence do Nigerians have in the judiciary? All these conversations will be coming after this break.